Hey everybody, my name is Samarty Pants and welcome to a new episode of Stardew Valley. This is episode 17. In the last video we had that little bit of a mess up, so we're gonna continue on here today without messing up, and this time we're actually going to save the recording. Alright, so here we are, Saturday the 13th, 6:10 a.m., and it is thundering everywhere. We must be very careful. Let's go ahead and pick up these chilies. Let's pick up this radish. What else do we got? Anything else? No. But it is raining, so I don't have to worry about watering my plants. Okay, got some honey, and I don't think my taps are done. So, I really didn't think this through. I really have no idea what I want to do today. Although I do have a lot of iron resources, so I'm going to go ahead and get these iron ores smelted up. And in the meantime, you guys are going to get to sit there and zip straight through it. All right, so it's been about 2 seconds and I've changed my mind already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to mine this iron, or I'm going to refine this iron ore into bars. And then once it gets a little closer to 9 a.m., I'm going to go and have Clint break open this frozen geode so we can see what kind of goodies we're going to get on the inside of the frozen geode. I sound like Duke Nukem. Not really. I'm giving myself far too much credit. Punk. Yeah, that's not what he says. Okay, I've made a fool of myself. Time to cut. Gotta love fresh coffee in the morning. This is for you. Nope, that coffee is not warm anymore. That's not even good. Oh, that was horrible. Okay, so this is taking forever. I'm gonna go ahead and head on down to Gunther. So what I'm going to want to do in this episode, we're the 13th, it's 9 a.m., we're about halfway through the summer month, if my understanding of how these months and things work. So because we're halfway through, I think what I'm going to want to do is kind of do a little bit more farming since I'm a little bit low on money. But ultimately, I know for a few episodes now, I've been wanting to redo my farm. And I can't quite do that farm until we're in the next day. So the best thing for me to do is to waste some time. More than likely, that's going to include going to the mine to pick up materials and minerals. I think we're down to like a little bit past 50. All right, so Clint, here we are. Process geodes. I want to process this frozen geode. Please break it open. And you gave me shit. I knew it. I should have sold the geode by itself. I'm such a dingleberry. Oh, God, life is so hard. Actually, really, it's not. It's just this game hates me. All right, so now I'm going to head up to the mine. I know it's 10 a.m. I haven't freed up my inventory, but I really don't give a damn. I'm just going to sit there and get a little bit of the minerals down. And since we've been doing a lot of mining compilations recently, I'm going to cut all of this out, so we'll be back in just a minute after I've been from the mine, and it'll be much later in the day. See you in a little bit. Okay, I just wanted to put this quick cut in here because this is something I have never seen before. I don't know what mineral or what ore this is, so I figured it would be at least acceptable for me to cut to this. So let's find out what it is. Oh, I guess that is a jade mineral deposit. Cool. All right. Be back when we're finished. Or if I find something new. All right, so here's another cut that I'm going to bring in only because I made it to level 60. So let's go ahead and open up this chest. Now, I am out of room, so this may not be very beneficial to me, but let's check it out. A crystal dagger. How awesome is that? The blade is made of purified quartz, 4 to 10 damage, plus 50 crit power. Now, I don't know, because when you look at my wood club, it's a level 2 club, does 9 to 16 damage, and this is 4 to 10. So my club does more damage on an average basis. So I don't know, honestly, which is going to be better. But we're going to take it with us just to make sure anyway. So I'm going to get rid of this stone since I don't need it. I'm going to take the dagger and we will be on our way. Before I head out, I'm going to check a little bit further down and you'll probably see me in just a minute. Okay, it is now the next day and we have made it back to our base and lots of things have happened. I did get lots of materials while we were down mining, so let's quickly go over what I did manage to get. For those of you keen of eye, you can see that I went up in our iron ore. I believe I had somewhere like in the 30 range. I did get some more coal, got some gold ore, some hardwood, and I did get some more frozen geodes. Now let's take a look at my other side. A lot of quartz. I got multiple jades. I also got some a frozen tier that's of really top quality, and of course you can see a number of other things that I also got while I was mining. We did make it down to approximately level 60, as you saw a few seconds ago. We got our crystal dagger. So now let's check the mail and see where we are. Actually, before we check the mail, let me drop some things off because I have absolutely no inventory space. So I'm gonna just drop off all of my mining resources, all of the kind of goodies that I got here next to the blacksmith, and I will sort all of this out in a little bit. So gold ore, what else we got? We got these ore, we got the frozen geodes, and I think that's all I need to drop off. Okay, so now I can switch to nothing in my hand, and let's check the mail. I believe this is the doctor. Yeah, 71 gold. I didn't make it back. I seem to have this affinity to pass out in front of Robin's house, so maybe she thinks that I'm like Mayor Lewis and creeping out in the middle of her, in her garden. Hey kid, my throat's about as dry as a desert bone. I'm real thirsty for a pale ale. You got one? Regular old beer won't do. I need a pale ale. What the fuck you want me to do? Pam is hankering for pale ale. Regular or beer won't do. You can brew one yourself if you have hops and a keg. Well, guess what I don't have, Pam? How are you gonna go up to somebody who isn't making your product and ask them to make it? That's like me walking into a grocery store and being like, yo, I need 15 feet of panel siding for my house. How is that even remotely close to what should happen? Whatever. Don't question. Don't question. I've just learned, don't question. Okay, so in addition to that, while we were there, we came across this conundrum. We have the crystal dagger, and then we have our wooden club. Now, the crystal dagger is a level 9 dagger, which comparatively speaking is much better than the wooden club. But if you look at the stats, it's actually not that much better. So here's the way it works. The special ability of the wooden club, or the right click, is this massive smash on the ground that's kind of like an area of effect that hits everybody within a close radius to me. I will demonstrate this now. Whereas the crystal dagger seems to have like this speed stab. That's what I'm going to call it, a speed stab, where if you right click, it does this really fast, quick succession stabbing animation. So check this out. So you can see it did like 5 stabs in a very short period of time. So each weapon has its own specialty. What I found out was that when versing monsters that have to adhere to the walls, aka non-flying and non-ghost, the dagger tends to be the best, because if I can get them pinned in a corner or at least somewhere over here, I can spam the dagger as fast as possible and then right-click to completely decimate them very, very, very fast. Whereas if I was using the wooden club, it would take a much longer time in order for me to get all of the, in order for me to kill them. So each weapon tends to have their own pros and cons. However, I will say this. The crystal dagger requires me to be much closer to the target, which means I'm typically going to be taking a little bit more damage, and that's obviously not a good thing. In addition to that, the crystal dagger just absolutely sucks, and I can't underline that enough. Sucks against ghosts, because you hit them once with your dagger, it does like 4 to 10 damage, which is hardly anything, and the ghost teleports away. So there's absolutely no point in using the crystal dagger against a ghost. And basically that also seals the fate for the fact that there's really no point to use the crystal dagger to begin with. It takes up an inventory spot. The wooden club does enough damage within a reasonable amount of time that it doesn't completely irritate the hell out of me that it takes forever to kill stuff, and it's able to kind of be the answer to everything for me. So what I'm gonna typically probably do is leave the crystal dagger at home. If some of you disagree with that, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section and tell me to use a crystal dagger, because if I'm missing something, then you're gonna have to tell me, because at this point I think I'm making a pretty good decision. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just kind of sorting some of this loot out. I have the monster loot here, some aquamarines. I'm going to sell most of this, but I'm also going to keep some of the higher quality stuff. So I'm going to sell the, let's see, where are we at? I'm going to sell the aquamarines since I already have that turned into Gunther. I don't need the quartz, don't need the jades, the other quartz, and then the frozen tear. I do not need those. In addition to, I'm going to store the hardwood over here with the honey. So put the hardwood and the honey away. And I don't think there's anything else I need to store. Maybe some of the tiers here. All right, so now it's 10:30 a.m. I'm going to throw an iron ore in the furnace, and we're going to head over to Clint, and have him open up these 2 frozen geodes. Typically, they tend to be better loot when you pay the 25 gold to get him to open it. I just happened to get unlucky on that last one. So we'll just have to see what happens after this. Be right back in just a minute. Clint, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. Process geodes, put the frozen one on the anvil, smash it. Ooh, what is that? That is new. We got an esperite, and then I also want you to smash this one. Go. And of course, we got stone. Well, I'm 1 for 3, so that's not necessarily a good ratio. But this esperite is a new mineral, so I'm gonna go donate that to Gunther. And I'm hoping that it's kind of like the frozen tear, that it's a rare object, so he'll give me a reward absolutely free on the house. And I'm wrong, but it's okay. So now, as you can see, we're starting to build up our repertoire of archaeological digs and finds inside Gunther's office. All right, so let's head back. I'm probably going to continue smelting all of these iron ore. It's still raining, so I kind of have to wait until the next day. I'm really hoping that those melons grow soon. I'm trying to restructure my farm so that the sprinklers will automatically sprinkle all the plants that I have around them. And until those plants grow, I can't really restructure it because I'll lose out on my investment. So, with that being said, this episode has been relatively productive. We went down to the mine, grabbed a whole bunch of loot. We're still kind of waiting on the next thing, but I'm not going to end it here, only because I don't really think the content that I've put out for this episode has been very new and different yet. There's been a couple of things, but nothing really fancy. So the last thing that I wanted to do for this episode is I want to take a look more at the community center. I know the community center had some quests that I really haven't looked much into. So let's take a look and see if I can't find out a little more about the community center. So I had this button here when you hit your options menu to click on the community center. And when you click on it, you can see a number of foraging bundles that apparently you have the ability to do. So I'm assuming that some of these represent where we are. So here's the construction bundle. When I look at the construction bundle, it wants 188 wood, 99 stone, and 10 hardwood. I could get the wood and the stone very easily. I don't believe I have enough hardwood. So let me check, make sure. I've got 7, so I almost have enough hardwood. I bet you I've sold hardwood in the past, and therefore it's probably my fault that I can't complete that quest at this time. But that's okay. We'll be able to make it without it anyway. So there's some other bundles I want to check out. My OCD kicked in a second ago, so let me put the wood back up. All right, so looking at the other bundles, we're obviously not going to be able to do the spring anymore because these aren't growing, these other plants, so I can't actually do that. So the next... Ooh, what was that creepy sound? Oh, I didn't like that. It sounded like a ghost. I don't like that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to check out the summer foraging bundle because we are in the summer. So it's asking for a spice berry, a grape, and a sweet pea. Now, I believe, let's check. I have a sweet pea, but I want to use one of those sweet peas. Do I have any spice berries? No, I do have a dandelion. Let's take that one just in case so I can dump it in the other bundle. And I don't believe... Let's actually turn that in so I don't give it away. So here's the dandelion. Must be deposited at the community center. Oh, that's right. I got to go over there. So I need to go looking for some grapes, and I need to go looking for some of the spice. And then I should be able to go to the community center and deposit it to get some of the rewards. So I'm going to cut here and look for some more of these things in the ground. And when I find them, we'll be back. Man, you know, I've had absolutely no luck. I have been searching for a few hours now in the game. I've checked next to Marnie's Marnie's farm. I've checked up by where the hermit is. I've looked a number of places, and I've had absolutely no luck. So instead of wasting my time even further, what we're going to do is hit the hay and check out the next day. Go to sleep. Yes. 14th of summer, year 1. Oh, look at all that money I got from turning in all of the mining minerals that I got. All right, so 600 gold for 3 jades. That's great. 3 aquamarines. That's also great. Lots of money. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. 15th of summer now. Get him, Rooster. Get him. All right, almost enough. Let's keep going. Let's see. It looks like some of our melons have grown. This is good because that means we're going to be able to finally restructure the way our farm is. Now, it looks like we're not going to be able to get all of it. And more specifically, sadly, we're still not able to do anything because these are still not grown, but hopefully they will grow soon. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to store my fiber resources. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to store the fiber resources, and I am going to store the melons. We'll deal with the melons in a later episode. And as a matter of fact, that is all the time that I have for this episode. So thank you everybody so much for watching. And as always, remember to put on your Samarty pants. And until next time, I'll zip you later. Be like selling it. All right, Gunther, I'll donate this Dwarven Scroll. Bet you're a Samart guy. All right, so let's see.